Will Sanborn. Will Sanborn has become one of the top college baseball coaches in the country. Coach Sanborn's teams are easily recognized as extremely well prepared and extremely competitive. St. Joseph's College has participated in the Division III New England Regional NCAA tournament 8 of the last 9 and 9 of the last 10, or am I cutting next year already? 9 out of 10. In the process, the Monks have beaten Tufts, Wheaton, Trinity, and Bowdoin. Each year advancing deep in the tournament. Coach, I don't think the New England Regional title is very far away. One of the favorite days of the year for me as a youngster growing up in Gorham, Maine, was to accompany my dad to Roop Johnson's bat factory up in Standish, where Will is from. If you haven't been to a bat factory, you should go visit the Case Bat Factory. Roop Johnson was one of the first in Maine to be developing the art of constructing baseball bats. The smell was like something I can remember forever. Coach, I know your Standish roots run deep, and they have served you very well. Will, your dedication and diligence to the construction and maintenance of Mahaney Diamond is legendary. Talk about shoveling snow, Coach. I know you're out there. Coach, when you beat us in the NCAA tournament, I will never forget you coaching third and sending the third base runner and the second base runner home on a routine ground ball. The only question I had at the time was, who was going to get to home plate first, you or the runner coming from second? It was the dead heat. He got there first, and you beat us 2-0. It is a great honor to introduce Will Sanborn, Coach Will Sanborn, for induction to the Maine Baseball Hall of Fame.
Thank you. I want to start by thanking Bo. Bo's doing a wonderful job here today, and I want to just hoping we can recognize him for that job. You know, Bo is one of the great athletes ever to come out of the state of Maine, and probably, despite what Mort Soul says, maybe Bowdoin's greatest athlete. So, thanks for a wonderful job you're doing today. Donnie Douglas, what a terrific job you do with this organization. Your leadership is tremendous, and this whole process has been a true pleasure for me. And it's a real testament to your insight that we don't have any umpires going into the hall today. I want to thank everyone from St. Joseph's, all the crew here. We have a lot of tables, and I really appreciate that. And as I said, the whole process of just going through this and having people call you and email you and send you cards, and it's just been kind of overwhelming. Of course, for a coach, when you go into the Hall of Fame, it's interesting because you really haven't won any ball games. I haven't, for a long time, thrown a pitch or hit a ball or caught a fly ball or anything like that. The players do it all. And it's been an amazing ride with some tremendously talented young men that have represented the college and myself with dignity and class, and they've been great competitors. When you have an honor like this, you kind of start to think about, you know, why are you up here, and how has it all happened? And I think the why of it for me really starts with family. Really started with my dad, who's here today. I can distinctly remember my brother Mike and I. The highlight of the day for us was when Dad would get home from the garage after working from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. and we would have him just shovel down his dinner, and we'd get out into the backyard and we'd go over to Johnson Field and we'd play catch and we'd play ball. And he really gave me the start, and thanks to him I haven't, as Coach was saying, haven't had to work a day for almost 21 years now. It's been tremendous. He really got me to start with that. Of course, when we would be playing catch and be doing our thing, he'd be teaching us the game, and he'd be talking about Roop Johnson, the legendary principal and coach of Standish High School. And I think it was a great lesson for me, because to my dad and to guys like Bill Cicerone and Neil Dow, Roop Johnson was the most respected man in town. His knowledge of the game of baseball and what he did for the young men that played for him. And I think those kind of discussions really led me to get into coaching. So that's kind of, I think, the why of why I ended up in this game and why it's been a great love affair with coaching. I've had some great coaches along the way. Brian Cates at Bonnie Eagle. Brian, you can wave to us. Brian's here today, which is a real thrill for me to have my high school coach here. Nobody could break it down and teach it like Brian Cates could. Jim Graffam, my coach at St. Joseph's. I think from him we really got that core philosophy at St. Joseph's, which is that if you can go out there and outwork your opponent, you probably have a chance to win that day. My family's been tremendous. We have a really unique situation. My wife, Lynn, is a tremendous part of our program at St. Joseph's, and we raised two kids kind of through and around St. Joseph's baseball, my daughter Morgan, my son Lincoln. And I can tell you that, you know, one of the greatest thrills for me is to coach my son at the college level, and I can still go out and play catch with him, just like I did with my dad years ago. Been fortunate to work for some great people at St. Joseph's and have great support. My athletic director, Brian Curtin's here. He's a great friend and a tremendous individual to work for. We've had the support of everyone at the college, from the athletic director to the Sisters of Mercy to the priests to the professors, and then we have people here today showing their support, and I really appreciate that. I've had great assistant coaches over the years, starting with Bobby Doyle and Roger Rio and guys like Corey McCarthy, Greg Souza, and Steve Merrill, and many more than I can mention along the way that have helped to cover up, you know, my mistakes in the game of baseball. We've had outstanding parents at St. Joseph's that have supported us. You know, coaches today, they tend to like to complain about parents. And I wouldn't have a job, or I call it, I guess it's not a job, I wouldn't be getting paid to coach baseball if it wasn't for the parents who send their young men to play for us and trust them with us for 4 years and pay the bills and support us. And I'm so proud that we have several parents of my former players and current players here today. And then most importantly, the players. You know, as a coach, you don't do anything without players, and our guys have really made it a pleasure over the years. You know, during the season, we spend so much time together. It's such a close bond that we have, and it's a group of terrific young men. And if I could have all my players that are here today just stand up quickly, I appreciate that. Guys, can you just stand up? Thank you, guys. We got two over here, too. Freedom. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you being there. Again, great character guys who have really put a lot of priority on their education, and guys who have a tremendous drive to compete and push our program forward. Probably the greatest group of young men you could ever hope to coach. It's just been amazing. Makes going to practice every day a pleasure. Congratulations to tonight's inductees. Again, thank you to Donnie for all your work, and thank you for all the support from everyone in the St. Joseph's baseball family. Thank you.